Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, please visit venezuelainsider.com. Today, we're going to do a comparison between the Margarita real estate market and the Lecheria real estate market. I personally, and I like one better than the other. I love both. However, you probably know the answer, but we're going to do a review and compare both markets and see what's the best for investing in 2023. Let's start with tourism. On this regard, Margarita has amenities for every kind of people, every class. You have lower middle class amenities, you have high middle class amenities, middle class amenities, high-end amenities. So in Margarita, you find options for every people all around, and of course, also for internationals as well. Margarita has a lot of infrastructure, a lot of services, restaurants, hotels, and movie theaters, shopping malls, beaches and more beaches, nightclubs, you name it. Venezuela in Margarita is the best place to do tourism because the infrastructure and the services overall are adapted to every budget and every requirement. So by that hand, Margarita is way better on the touristic side compared to Lecheria. Now, Lecheria is not slouch for tourists. The thing is about Lecheria is catered towards more of the business executives, high-end tourists, or the lower end of the middle class tourists. Here's why. For one hand, you have these luxury places, luxury restaurants, luxury hotels. They accommodate pretty well the average business traveler or the high-end, high purchasing power consumer. And by the other hand, you have some options for lower middle class people that lives nearby on 2-3 hour drive cities, and they don't maybe have the budget to go any place further, so they settle for coming to Lecherias. However, they don't have better options, and there is not on the price range, there is not that much option. So on that regard, Margarita is way better on the tourism side. Number two, demographics, and this is close, but it's not that close. Margarita has a population of around 600,000 people, but of course you have to add up the transient people that you find all year round, so that adds up the number to, let's say, 1 million to 2 million per year or so. And the thing is, in Margarita, those 600 people, most of them don't have great purchasing power compared to the people in Lecheria. If you add up the populations of Puerto La Cruz, Barcelona, and Lecheria, you get a number of around 700,000 to 800,000 people. And you have over 300 on Puerto La Cruz, over 300 on Barcelona, and you have less than 100,000 for the Lecheria population. Of course, officially, Lecheria has a population of less than 50,000. However, you have to add up some miscalculations and the transient people. You get a bunch of people who de facto lives in Lecheria, but it's not accounted as a resident of Lecheria, so you get something close to 100,000. And the thing is, these people have a way greater purchasing power compared to the average Margarita resident. So on that regard, Lecheria has better demographics than Margarita. Lifestyle in both cities. Well, Margarita has a way laid back culture and lifestyle. Don't get me wrong, they're hardworking people. However, the climate and the vibe or Margarita is more for a holiday place rather than a business place. Don't get me wrong again, people in Margarita work hard, but at the same time, it is a place where you just want to rest or enjoy the beach rather than just sit in an office. Compared to Lecheria, that Lecheria it's laid back compared to Caracas, but it's not laid back compared to Margarita. In Lecheria, you have more of a business culture going on, more people wearing suits and ties and fancy office these office outfits. So it's more of an impresario thing going on. And for I will put it as a tie on this category because depending if you're a laid back guy or you're a business guy, you wanna use a suit, wear a suit all day long. That's up to you. For me, it's a tie. Infrastructure and logistics. On this particular case, Margarita has decent infrastructure, great roads. You are connected to the whole island. The services are not so great. However, the infrastructure is good. You find basically pretty much any amenity. And it has great connectivity with the mainland Venezuela. Remember, Margarita Island, though an island, no shit, Sherlock. And there are a bunch of flights from Caracas and the rest of the main cities here in Venezuela to Margarita, and also you found ferries that are connected with the eastern side of the country. So if you want to take your own car, you can do it using one of those ferries. And for the other hand, Lecheria has decent infrastructure, I have to say. And the other thing is, since it's the main island on the mainland of the country, it's relatively close to Caracas, 4-hour drive, and connected to the rest of the country. It has a great airport that connects with the rest of the main airports on the country, and also has a couple of international flights. Margarita has some international flights as well, I have to say. However, on infrastructure, just by the sheer fact that Lecheria is on the mainland of the country, I have to give this one to Lecheria. And lastly, economic activity. The main economic activity in Margarita is tourism. Margarita is heavily reliant on tourism, and if the economy starts doing bad, there is an economic slowdown, even a slightly economic slowdown, Margarita is gonna suffer because the restaurants, the hotels, the tour operators are gonna suffer because they live day by day expecting to receive foreign tourists, not only foreigners from abroad, from international destinations, but many from domestic destinations. So everything, something goes sideways. Margarita is one of the first markets to suffer economic downsides. The economy here in Lecheria and the state is more diversified because tourism is just a third tier industry here in Lecheria. The main industries here are oil and gas and logistics, supply chain, and also professional services. Here in Lecheria, we have Fortune 500 companies, big oil multinationals, big four consulting firms, these big ones, Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and such. And for that sheer fact that Lecheria has a more diversified economy, I will say that Lecheria is a way better place to invest on real estate rather than Margarita. Don't get me wrong, you can find great real estate deals in both markets, and Margarita has beautiful properties to invest or just to invest as a lifestyle investment, let's say. However, on the economics facts, I have to say Lecheria is way better to invest. Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please follow us on other social media. If you want to work with us, venezuelainsider.com. Thanks again. Have a nice day. Happy New Year 2023.